Hi, Trevor here, reflecting on life through music. Welcome and thank you for stopping by. It's fantastic you are here. Well, I trust you enjoyed my last video on Def Leppard and through their inspiring story of how they were able to keep their drummer who had lost an arm. It's quite inspirational, and it's great to see that people can be given a second chance. So I trust you found that one an encouragement. And of course, Def Leppard went on to be massive after that. So there we go. Well, we're going from there to a couple of guys that got together in Berlin in 1981. Marion Gold on vocals and Bernard Lloyd very much the music and production. And while bands like Def Leppard were getting quite big in the arena with arena rock, this other genre of synth pop was very much becoming popular as well. Keyboards were a really massive thing, and drum machines and all the rest of it. And so we're getting some quite innovative stuff happening in that arena as well. Who are we talking about? Alphaville. Now, between 1984 and 2017, these guys have been around for a while actually. 7 studio albums, 1 live album, 10 compilation albums, 3 video albums, and 25 singles. These guys have won a couple of awards: Golden Europa Award for Best Group and Best Foreign Group, and the Rock to Beyond Award for Best Foreign Album. So these guys are absolutely massive in Europe, obviously considering they formed in Berlin, but very much their iconic album did reach it to Australia, and there's one song in particular off that album that has resonated with the world well and truly. It's quite amazing to think that a band like this one can write such an iconic song, and a song that has become an anthem very much in the early 1980s. Now, when we go back to the 1980s, it was a bit of a scary time for the world. We had the Cold War happening. We had very much missiles being aimed at each other. And one of the lines in the song is, "Are you going to drop the bomb or not?" And suggesting you can't get more obvious and outspoken than that. So in response to the Cold War, which was quite a scary time for all of us really, in lots of ways, Alphaville came out in 1984 with their album Forever Young. Now, Forever Young is just one of these songs that has resonated with many artists in the world. There have been many covers of these songs. I've actually heard people in the singing contest now sing this song in a very reflective way. And particularly when you hear a child sing it, it just really brings it to life. And so Forever Young came out, written by Marion Gold, the lyrics, and Bernard, to very much say, hey, we want to actually live our lives. We don't want to be experienced to this threat all the time. We want to be able to live our lives. But I tell you what, am I going to grow old? In fact. Or is it going to be forever young? Yes, I want to be forever young because it's great being young and all the rest of it. But, am I going to be able to live my life getting old too? Come on, guys, surely we can talk about this stuff as opposed to dropping bombs on each other's. In fact, this song has been used in a number of movies and TV shows as well. It just seems to just capture the mood of many situations, and it's such an iconic song, this one, really. The song, living life to the fullest, one of the lines, hoping for the best but expecting the worst. Are you going to drop the bomb or not? Very hard to know where to go with this song today. I'm thinking, well, the best way to talk about this song is to talk about the hope that it provides. Now, we all need hope in this world. Hope is critical to our well-being. If we don't have hope, we won't get up in the morning. If we don't have hope, we won't progress with our lives. If we don't have hope, we just will give up and not bother. But as I've shared a little bit before in this series, that hope has to have something practical to hang its head on. You can't just sort of say, hey, look, have hope. No, hope has to have something practical it can look at and work towards. And so this is where you get alongside someone and say, well, how can we look at this thing together, and hopefully the hope will grow within you again. Because as individuals, we have to be empowered to bring the hope in our own lives and to look for the hope for ourselves. We may need help from time to time, but generally that's where hope comes from. And obviously hope is different for everybody. What might be hopeful for one person may not be for another. So there's not just one type of hope, there's many types of hopes in this world and in all of us as individuals. But I think the issue with this particular song was that in the early 1980s we did not know where the world was headed. And so the concept of having this threat of a nuclear bomb being dropped on you, and we're talking about America and Russia and places all through the world. It wasn't just in other places. It was, all over the world. Everyone was really, really worried. And the hope was kind of dwindling a fair bit because we were living in fear pretty much. Imagine what's happening now with COVID-19, and just imagine, well, that's not the threat. The threat is actually something else. And you're thinking, oh, God. And so there's no answer in this song. This is the issue we got. It's a question though, and the hope is, are you going to drop the bomb or not? Because you know what? I'm hoping for the best, but expecting the worst. Please wake up, guys, and realise that war is not the answer. It's just too much at stake to go down that track. And there's never really a winner in war. Sure, there might be someone that will sign, a surrender document, but at the end of the day, there's not really a winner, and everybody gets hurt somehow. So this song was very much saying, hey, let's not drop the bomb, because you know what? But I don't have much hope that human nature can be any different either. Very poignant lyrics, these ones. And so I suppose if you're in a situation right now where you're not feeling terribly hopeful about stuff, I think what we've got to look for is we've got to look for a tangible, practical thing we can put our hope in. It may be something only small. It may only start small, but then it may grow and grow and grow and grow. If anything, a hope for now is that we will get back to connections with people. And we can connect in a few ways, whether it's by Zoom or over the phone or whatever it is. I think we've got to look for opportunities to bring hope to other people who might be struggling. So may that be an encouragement for you today. This is an incredible song by Alphaville, and I do remember listening to this song and thinking, wow, that's quite an amazing song, really. It's an anthem, this one, a pop, synth pop anthem. Who would have thought? Much along the same lines as, I suppose, Orchestral Maneuvers in the Dark and their song Enola Gay. I think Alphaville was very much inspired by them and a few others going around at the time. That's very much a protest song against the nuclear bomb being dropped in Hiroshima. Who would have thought that this genre could come up with such thought-provoking lyrics as these? So I trust that will all be an encouragement for you. You are a person worthy of hope. You really, really are. Well, on to the clips. Now, the Forever Young album in 1984 sold 2 million copies. It went to #1 in a few countries in Europe, Italy, Norway and Sweden. And it did pretty well in some other places in the world as well. And so that's the album. What we have is a studio live-ish kind of version and the official clip of this one. Nothing tells the story of this song quite like the official clip. There's hope and there's all sorts of things going on in there. So both of those clips are there for you as well. The studio version, you're never quite sure whether things are live or not, but you'll get to see what these guys were like. Marion is pretty amazing voice, really. His range is pretty good, and he's just the perfect guy to actually sing this song. And I thought we'd better go for another song off the Forever Young album, and we've got the song Big in Japan. Now, as I said, 1984 to 2017, these guys have been doing this thing for a while. And so I was having a bit of a look, and I thought, well, I remember the song Big in Japan. I thought how great that song was. I thought, well, let's try and find a clip for that one. And I find a live clip in the early 2000s here. Now, again, it's a bit of a pop kind of reminiscing kind of night. There's a lot of people at this concert, and they're all getting into this song Big in Japan. Now, I do remember when I heard the original of this one, it's a bit different at the start in this particular clip. So I'm thinking there's been some quite enhancement made. We're almost getting onto progressive pop a little bit in the way this starts. And I'll leave it up to you whether this is live or not. I'm not completely sure here. I have seen other clips of this song where it does seem live because there is different tune, slightly different tune and stuff. And I'm thinking that Marion actually has retained his voice quite amazingly over all these years. And so there's a live version of that one, I think from the early 2000s, so you know, some 20 years after Forever Young came out as an album. And so both of those links are in the description below, and I've also included my last video from Def Leppard, so if you want to recap on that one, feel free. Well, that's it for today. Thank you for coming back for another one, or if this is your first time to the channel, welcome to the channel, and as always, the encouragement is for people to hang around to the end. Well, that's it for today. Next time, we're going to go on to Alicia Keys. So until then, I'll catch you around.